OpenAI hosted Dev Day 2025 filled with amazing announcements. And here's everything you need to know about the Dev Day. First thing launched is the ability to call and use different apps within ChatGPT. And this is called apps in ChatGPT. So for example, you could use booking.com or Coursera, and then you can ask ChatGPT to access those platforms for you and then provide you info. There are a couple of different examples shown, as in Zillow, Coursera, and a few different platforms where you can pretty much search all of the data that you'd like directly from ChatGPT. Example was of Canva, where one could create a complete presentation or a poster or anything that you would do. Same thing for Expedia. You can search for hotels and make a reservation within the chat. These are a few to start with. Of course, developers can build their own apps and allow ChatGPT to browse them. There's also a detailed guide for developers on building apps using this apps SDK, and you could look at some of the examples and also partner apps and learn from those. Next one, and this is huge, you can actually generate videos using Sora too, and this is available in the API. So basically all of those fun videos that you created on the Sora app can now be created without the watermark and with some additional options, including the ability to provide some reference image and generating videos from that. You could also provide product information and generate videos from that. And last but not least is the option to remix. And this is very similar to how it works in the Sora app, where you can take an original video and generate a remix version of that with a different character or prompt or anything that you'd like to change. If you're a developer, definitely this is something you want to give it a try. And one of the major announcements is the ability to now build agents using a drag and drop interface. This is very similar to N8N or Zapier, where you can drag and drop any of the components, connect them with the other nodes, and pretty much build a complete workflow. And if you have worked with any of the agent builder tools, you'll probably be very familiar with how these instructions for agents look like, the naming of them, and the ability to add tools. Now, within this version, we have the ability to call a few different tools that includes the hosted version of MCPs, file search, web search, or the option to generate code. And then there are a few additional options of calling function and anything custom that you'd like to build as a tool. But then, of course, this is just a start. Probably you're going to see a lot of integrations available and a lot more tool. And the cool part is once you have the agent, you can easily preview the agent by running it. And this gives you detail of how each component within this flow is working. So we can see that it goes through the guardrails component here, then it goes through the select domain, and then through the condition block, and then a few different blocks downstream before we get an answer. So this makes it super easy to understand how the workflow is built, how it runs, and we can add guardrails, we can add the conditions and some agents across all of this workflow. So in production, you have a better idea what exactly is happening from here. Now, another cool thing is that you can also evaluate any of these agents. So if you were to make changes, you can see what were the traces for the agents, and all of that is available within this nice interface. And finally, if you'd like to use this agent somewhere else, you can grab the code from here, and there are two different options. One is using the chat kit, so you can call this workflow directly, or you can grab the code of this particular flow and then add it to your website or blog or anywhere else that you would like for your users to chat with this agent. So pretty cool, a lot familiar with some of the tools that we have seen before, but this is definitely a cleaner interface by OpenAI, a nice set of tools and nodes to begin with. Of course, this is probably going to get bigger and bigger in a few months. There are a few additional models announced as well, including the GPT Image 1 Mini. This is a cheaper version of the original GPT Image 1 model. And then there is the GPT Realtime Mini. This is a more cost-effective version of the Realtime model that was a bit expensive to begin with. So this is a bit more practical practical. And for folks who are building use cases around coding, GPT-5 Pro is now available. This is something that is used within Codex, so now this is available for anyone to use. Again, if you are a builder, this is certainly an exciting time. Go ahead, get started building with all of these amazing tools available from OpenAI.